Yeah, I think that the May Online's interrogation speech, one particular thing he mentioned was, coming back to the ASEAN's fold, because since the military coup, the Myanmar top level political leadership has been barred from the attending the summit. So this is the first time new government was trying to come back to the ASEAN, but I think there was a lack of meaningful progress inside the country. I mean, even the Singapore foreign minister said that there was a lack of meaningful progress in Myanmar, in spite of the state councillor Dawn San Suu Kyi has been placed under house arrest. There was a demand. There has been a campaign, and then calling for a release, and also allowing this ASEAN special envoy to meet her. So I think the campaign has been intensified, and which is a good news. I think it's quite interesting to see that. You can see that one of the ASEAN members, Thailand, is being seen as a broker uh, between the ASEANs and Myanmar. Thailand's foreign minister repeatedly said that Thailand wanted to serve as a bridge between the Myanmar and the ASEAN as a whole, but it's still not very successful. So I think Thailand has been served as a broker. I'm not sure whether this is going to be successful this year and next year, because this year is the Philippines is a chair, and next year is Singapore is going to be chair. Even now, Singapore is taking quite a tough line, saying that there is no meaningful progress in the country, which is true, right? Then another one is that the regime also will try to get the UN seat, because currently the UN seat was still occupying by the opposition force. What I see is now is the regime in Myanmar continue to face the credential crisis as well as the legitimacy crisis, and they're trying very hard to regain access to the ASEAN, to becoming as a full membership, because of the regime has been punished since the military coup. I think the ASEAN House is divided again because of Myanmar issues. If you look at the Cambodia issue, is ASEAN takes a very different, tone and policy towards two countries crisis, which is Thailand and Cambodia. But if you look at the Myanmar issues, I think the particularly the founding ASEAN members take a tough stance. Malaysia, Indonesia, and Singapore, particularly. So I think I would say that, like in the past times, when Myanmar was under the SLOC slash SPDC, I think ASEAN House is divided again because of the Myanmar issue again. It is becoming a big headache for the ASEAN members, whether to accept it. And Thailand, you see that serve as a broker between ASEAN and Myanmar. I think it's a fight between the pragmatism and a principle stance among the ASEAN members. As I mentioned earlier, that Singapore, Indonesia, and Malaysia takes a much more tougher stance towards Myanmar regime, but Thailand is much more softer stance, which is Thai foreign minister flew to Naypyidaw and congratulated the incoming president, General May Aung So I think even Singapore said that Thailand position clearly undermined the ASEAN position, right? Because the ASEAN state continue to prevent the top political leadership, only accepting the non-political representative. So I think it will continue to prevent top leadership to come to the ASEAN meeting. So I think the lack of meaningful progress in Myanmar is, we still have a political prisoner remain in prisons, and the regime continue to airstrike and kill the civilians, and in the countryside. and also that the Aung San Suu Kyi in unknown locations, and there's a campaign calling for the proof of life. They want to know whether she's still alive or not, and even President women has been released, but virtually he's still under house arrest. He's being watched, right? So when you say the meaningful progress, I think ASEAN's a lot of people in Myanmar would like to see the political momentum build up that lead into some kind of reconciliation, some kind of political dialogue that is going to take place in the future. But I don't see that. I don't see anything happening to that direction at the moment. That's why I think it's correct to say that Myanmar doesn't have any kind of meaningful political progress in the country.